Radio, I'm in the building, Hip Hop Mike, another Monday.
Yeah.
Got a special guest. You hear that voice, right?
Gang.
Let them know your name, man.
It's your boy Relly Tex, aka International Relly in the building.
Relly Tex officially on the Hip Hop Mike show. I appreciate you for coming by, man.
Thank you for having me, brother. Thank you for having me.
Now, we've been talking for a minute. I've been listening to your music for a minute. I wanted to bring it back and get the full story of, the history of Relly Tex. I think you got an interesting story from what I've heard so far, and I know there's a lot more to it.
Right.
So let's start out like this, man. Where originally are you from?
I'm from Amityville, Long Island.
Amityville, Long Island.
Yeah, Stick South, Arkansas, seat of the oak.
What do things look like for people that aren't familiar with Long Island in general? What do things look like out there in Amityville?
Amityville, they building Amityville up right now. If you talk about, it used to be about like 15 years ago, then that's a whole nother story. But right now, Amityville is out. It's on the rise.
It's more a suburb though than it is like a New York City. Like you can still be from New York and live in Amityville and not see a building for a minute.
Oh yeah. If you look up for big buildings and things like that, you ain't gonna get that over there. But the way people are over there, they put there's no real difference from city niggas and Long Island niggas though. You know what I'm saying?
Got you. Well, I mean, essentially, like I live in Long Island also. Is we're in the shadow of the biggest city in the world.
Right.
The home of hip hop. Originally being from Amityville, Long Island itself, they got a lot of legends that's from Long Island. You got dudes like Rakim.
Facts.
Busta, low keys from Long Island, from the state.
Facts.
What did you kind of grow up on out there?
I grew up what can I say? I grew up listening to dudes on my block. To keep it tall with you, shout out to Busta Rhymes, LL Cool J, and everybody, Biz Markie, little Eric Sherman. But I mainly grew up listening to people around my neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Like people like Damon Bernardo, Dollar Skills, Stud, like those are people that I grew up to. Y'all don't know those people, but
yeah, I'm not familiar. You gotta put me on.
Those people was legends in my town when I was growing up. You know what I'm saying? Those dudes had bars. It was nice. By me being a youngin' walking around, listening to them, I always wanted to rap because of them.
What was their style like? Was it similar to your style, or was this like more old school?
They had like a gritty old school sound. You know what I'm saying? Back when Onyx and Wu-Tang was out there, they had that raw real shit that made you want to go out there, probably go grab a couple of guns and go shoot some. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Those are the type of people I grew up listening to though. You feel me?
What do you remember like being one of the first things that you heard? Was it from somebody like that, or was it like a big record? Were you listening to the radio at all? That back then when you got started, or was it mixtapes? What was it that kind of pulled you into music?
I think I remember clearly. I think we was on Walnut. This is block in my hood called Walnut. This dude named not Dollar Skills, Damon Bernardo. He had a line called what he say? When you pass through my house, you gotta go up a lot of stairs, past koala bears, haven't been fed in years. Yo, the way the crowd reacted to that shit, like, yo, I gotta rap. That nigga's nice.
That's crazy, koala bears.
Yeah, that's like one of the hardest lines I ever heard in my life. But shout out to Damon Bernardo.
I think that was I'm Gonna Blow.
That's a fact. Yeah, I think I'm gonna blow. That's a fact. Word.
That's wild. Y'all gotta put me on. What was it that got you started with rapping? Was it, besides seeing these dudes, what was like your first steps into the music game? You start writing? Were you a production dude? What was it?
After a while being around the older dudes around the neighborhood and stuff like that, I had to learn how to do it myself. You understand what I'm saying? So.
But did you have like a message to get across, or was
not
it?
Around that time. Around that time, I didn't have no message. I was just trying to put words together and make them rhyme. You understand what I'm saying? Around that time, I didn't even know myself.
What was driving you to do that though? You just trying to like fit in with these dudes that you kind of looked up to as a kid, or?
Pretty much, I liked it. You understand what I'm saying? It's just like seeing a person like an NBA player. You know what I mean? Like slam dunk. You know what I mean? Shoot basketball and stuff like that. You still young, but you might want to be a basketball player when you get older. You know what I'm saying?
I got you. So it wasn't, you didn't come in with like the mentality of like, I'm gonna do this for real and like make a career out of it. It was more just like, this is a hobby of mine. It's like any kid that's playing ball in the driveway dreams of being Jordan.
Exactly.
You might not necessarily get into like go to college or have the dream to go to college yet, but it's still out there taking them shots.
Exactly. That's exactly what it was.
When did you start like kind of taking it serious? Did you go to the studio at that time when you were just kind of using it as a hobby, or?
I think I started taking it serious after the older dudes when I finally spit a freestyle for the older dude. They're like, yo, shorty nice, yo, he nice. So after when I did it and people started liking it, I'm like, I'm gonna do this some more because people's liking it.
They was fucking with the sound.
They was fucking with the sound, you know what I'm saying? So as time went on, you know, I was making a lot of mistakes, you know what I mean, with my voice, you know, trying to project, trying to get things right, you understand what I'm saying? And that's just pretty much what it was. Make mistakes, fix them, you know, better the sound, you know what I'm saying? Go back to the drawing board, come back, and people just started liking the material. That's it. And I just started recording some more and more and more.
Was there a time that people were more like critical of it? Do you think like there were anybody that heard it was negative?
You had a couple of people that always felt like, you know, especially in like high school, junior high, or I could do it better than him, shit like that. I'm nicer than him.
Yeah, go do it.
Yeah. You get the little battles and shit like that. You know what I mean? After school, people start talking and stuff like that. You know, and I realized I was doing something right because once people started talking like, oh, I'm better than him, I'm nicer than him. I'm like, all right, so I'm doing something. Around that time, and that's pretty much what it was.
Nah, a lot of people get mad at their haters. I feel like the people that choose to embrace the haters are the ones that really go the furthest, because you can use that as gas to just fuel the engine, you know?
Absolutely. You know, shout out to the haters. You know, I love them. I need them. You know, we all need them.
Shout out to the haters.
Make the cars run. You know what I mean? Shout out to them. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, they probably hating that we over here. But you know,
Relly Tex, I've never had somebody show the haters so much love on my show.
Yeah, I love them. I need them. But more than ever, shout out to the people that showing love, though. You know what I'm saying? We got to shout out to those people that showing a lot of love. And I appreciate those people. Whoever, you know, shares something, comment on something. I ever told somebody about Relly Tex, you know what I'm saying? Listen to the material. Shout out to y'all. You know?
So we'll take it back. I guess you're in high school at this point. You're making music. You got some people that's hating, some people that's embracing it.
Right.
At this point, were you starting to take it more seriously? Did you start kind of like, you know, creating a business out of it, or was this still like a hobby? And if so, at what point did you kind of turn this around and make it a business?
I think around that time I was going to people to figure out how could we really make something happen. And,
like who? Like producers
like local people around the hood that I felt was doing something. You understand what I'm saying? That I felt like could probably get me in the door.
Okay.
I was pretty much going up to them talking about, yo, listen, you know I'm taking this rap thing serious. What's good? What's up? Let's team up. Let's do something.
What exactly like did they do though? Were they like on production, or were they in the industry?
Like shout out to Born to Rock. My man Rock out there. He had a label called Born to Rock.
Okay, so he had something like a situation for you.
Well, he had a situation for himself, but you know, because he had the older dudes that was doing it already. Like a couple of those cats that I named previously, they was like dealing with him.
They part of that. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So me, those are the people that I had to look up to. So I wanted to be a part of that. That was like the Rockefeller to me. You know what I'm saying? Like.
So it must have felt good for them to reach out to you and respect the skills.
Yeah, they did. That's exactly what it was. That's what made me want to keep going and going and going. It was the unity thing. I wanted to be like the next Chain, the next Rockefeller State Property. We wanted that feel. You know what I'm saying?
What did linking up with these guys add to what you had already kind of created yourself?
Pretty much what happened with that whole situation kind of fell a little. Things got a little twisted over there. Some people got locked up. Some people moved away.
All right.
So I slowly started seeing that situation kind of dying out a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So my whole thing was like, all right, well, nobody was really as motivated. So I said, you know, I'm gonna start my own situation. Seed of the Oak.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I started the Seed of the Oak situation, and I just figured, like, you know what? I'm gonna open up a studio, because I was tired of paying for studio time, going to all these different studios and stuff like that. So I opened up a studio, you know, got the tax ID number and incorporated Seed of the Oak. And I said, you know, I'm gonna just sign myself and just be an artist on my own situation right now, just go independent.
So what was that situation all about? So you start Seed of the Oak, and like that's only you fueling yourself, or did you have people that you had brought with you that weren't on the fuckboy shit that was getting in trouble? And
well, Seed of the Oak, I came up with that with myself, being that I used to live on Cedar in Amityville. You know what I'm saying?
Cedar and Oak.
Yeah, but shout out to my cousin Buddha. He lived on Cedar too. You know, Buddha said shout out to him right there. He lived on Cedar, and he approved of it. You know, what I mean, he agreed that we should do it that way. You know, and that's just what we did.
And then y'all wrote out, set up the studio, and started creating?
See, he don't rap, but he was always there for everything I always did and all of that, so he'll be the first. He's a big critic, so if this shit was trash, he'll be like, that shit's trash. Shout out to him.
Nah, that's honestly though, that's a key player for the team.
No yes men.
People take that for granted, man. Like a lot of times, especially when people see, you know, talent and you in the hood, it's like, you know, a lot of people see you as a meal ticket and aren't real with you, and that can be detrimental for artists. So it's always good to have somebody you trust that's like family that's around and tell you like that shit's whack, you better than that, you know? So you start branding yourself, really.
I started branding myself like that by doing these little freestyles and stuff like that. And so I did the Jack Up the Beats Part 1, you know what I mean? Then I did Jack Up the Beats Part 2. Just jumping on everybody else's beats, like you just heard, 900 Block Incarcerated.
Yeah, and the way you flip the words, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, for the people that are listening, we had a little conversation before this. My man flips the words crazy. Like, you know, we talk a lot about, you know, artists that's coming out of New York and a lot of people that's about the bars, but I think there's like a technique that certain people that have like the experience and I guess that are seasoned and, you know, more polished in the game, that, you know, it's not as just, you know, bar for bar for bar. There's a real style in the lyrics, and you know, I definitely hear it in your music. And you know what? I think let's show them what I'm talking about. I want to play some music actually, and you know, we can come back and talk some more. But is there anything that you think will hit home the way that I'm talking about? You know, as far as flipping the words and for people to really, you know, what song speaks for Relly Tex?
Don't ask me that question. Nah, I'm saying.
Sorry, man, it's the hot box.
It's so many. The archives is crazy.
I mean, we'll play a couple. I want to give them a nice taste of everything, but to set the tone, what do you think the people should hear?
I think right now, if they're looking for some bars and they really fell in love with hip hop at a specific time and all of that, I think that 900 Block will do something for them as far as that wordplay is concerned. You feel me?
You coming out the gate like that?
That's a classic. I feel like that was a classic situation. You know what I'm saying? Saying back when Raekwon, Wu-Tang was out doing what they was doing. So if you don't recognize that beat, I don't know what you recognize. This ain't for you.
Ladies and gentlemen, y'all in for a treat. This is one of my favorites, 900 Block. Hip Hop Mike Shark. I'm my man Relly Tex in the building.
Yeah.
XXL Dash Radio, Hip Hop Mike in the building, my man Relly Tex. That right there was 900 Block, followed up by Benjamin Franklin. Tell them a little bit about those records they just heard, man.
900 Block was one of those freestyles off that Jack Up a Beats Part 2 mixtape that I'm about to drop. It's fire.
What gave you the idea to put those records together? I know you said a little bit off the air about, you know, trying to hit that New York feel.
Right.
With 900 Block. What kind of you know, mind frame was you in when you wrote that? Because it's interesting the way you flip around the words. Like I was telling the people before, you know, and they heard it.
Yeah. I think 900 Block, I got that because right now, Cedar the Oak, right? That's a little town that I'm from. I'm from the sticks. So you got Cedar, Birch, Walnut, Poplar, Chestnut, Spruce, Oak, a whole lot of these blocks. But the younger kids over there, they call it 900. That's the new generation coming up. You understand what I'm saying? So I show love to the younger bros out there and stuff like that. You know, when we be vibing, chilling, stuff like that. That's how I came up with the hook. But more or less, like I told you, I like Wu-Tang, I like Raekwon, I like that era when hip hop was real. And I always felt like, listen, I gotta hear myself on this beat. I think I put something crazy on this, man. Let me just do it. But one day, you know what I mean, I was in the studio, dropped the beat on it, and I just laid some vocals down on that time.
One day?
One day, try like 10 minutes, I put this like 10 minutes, that
That's
shit was
crazy.
done. Out of here.
So you work pretty quick?
Quick, as fast as I can. You feel me? Get it out and you go on to the next one.
Got you.
Right after that.
What's the vibe like? You said that there's kids in the neighborhood, obviously, and like you've grown up, you looked up to your OGs. What's the vibe with the kids? How they feel about the music, and do they get excited when they see you out on the block, or?
I think they show me mad love out there because they know when I pull up, you know, I'm showing love to them. So we all get along lovely. You understand what I'm saying? If I can give them some advice, I'll give them some advice and all that, you know, things like that.
Have people reach out to you to you for advice?
They I wouldn't say they reach out, but sometimes they do. They be asking me, how can I do this? You know, I want to get a studio, I want to do a business, certain things like that. But a lot of times, I'll be moving around a lot so quickly that it's hard to even get close to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, that's why I asked if they geek when they see you, because I know every time I see you, you're somewhere else. You be like, I seen you in Westbury was the first time we met. Like,
right.
In some neighborhood, like, yo, guys, when I tell you this neighborhood that I linked up with this dude in, you would think like they was on some Tony Soprano shit. They got mansions, like it's just crazy,
man.
Shout out
to All Out. Shout out to All Out. Ron and the niggas. Word, that's a fact.
Lamborghini gang.
Facts.
So what else is going on, man? What have you been working on lately, and you know what's to come? Have you linked with any other artists? Are there features that you've been looking to do? You know, what's the whole movement about lately?
Right now, I don't work with artists before. Right now, I think this DarkCloud project, I think I'm keeping it. We still going back and forth about that. We want to throw certain people on a project or not, depending on how it sounded. Because right now it's sounding good. We want to give the world all of me. And I know sometimes this is like a, it's chestnut checking. Sometimes people, when they other people, get their fan base, or they feel like, they might sound good if we just team up, collab and stuff like that. So we might do half and half. You know what I'm saying?
What's your approach as far as like production? How do you go about like selecting beats and working with different producers, or do you work with different producers, or is most of it in house?
Like shout out to Beat Corn. I got this record called Fake Gold with Meat Sims, R.I.P. Change Drugs. That record is official. I reached out to him for a couple of beats. I definitely got a couple of producers on deck. I can't necessarily say I like everything that I hear, but there's a lot of young people up and coming too that got some fire too, so I might reach out to them. And social media is crazy too, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people, there's so many people out there that got instrumentals and stuff like that, and I just reach out to them, I like what you're doing. Let's work.
And people have been receptive so far?
They've been receptive because they'll look me up and see how I sound. They say, you know what, you're a dope artist, I want to work with you too.
You got a solid rap.
Yeah, and that's how that be.
What's do you have like merch out or any kind of like clothing line? 'Cause every time I see you guys, y'all have the flyest fucking clothes. And I know somebody's making them. I don't know. I know you brought somebody today that they have their own situation as far as making clothes. But do you have anything specific to like what you do, like merch, or is that something in the works?
Right now, see the old clothing line. We dropping that. Right now we got a couple of ideas that we drawing up right now. But right now, we definitely are promoting this DarkCloud wave. That's going to be the name of the project when we dropping that. So everything is DarkCloud right now.
When
see the old clothing right now.
When are you planning to have the project together for? Is there a date on it yet, or is it still?
I can't put a date on it just yet, but honestly, it was supposed to been done drop. But every time I do another track, that shit sounds fire. Like, I gotta throw that on it. And it's like I just want to piece it together. I want to put together a great project. A great project, because DarkCloud, that really means a lot right now.
That's what happens when you set the bar high, man.
Fact. That's a fact.
You gotta make sure that you tweak everything to be perfect.
But even on the clothing line, my man worth $1 billion. I got my man Dot in the building with me right now. He does the clothes too. That worth $1 billion wave. So also on that, if you want to get your clothes made up by him, you know what I'm saying? He does clothes too, all types of stuff, jerseys, fitted caps, jeans, all types of stuff. So
if you want, you grab the mic, man. Talk.
Yeah, that's a fact. Part of my voice though was kind of turned up last night. You know what I'm saying? Any Moe, it was just nasty. But I'm here though, with the bro. Definitely, worth $1 billion apparel is the clothing line. We out here, we can get it. Wherever you see me, I got it. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much. Me and Relly, like, neck to neck, like this. Yo, Dot, what up, boy? Where we at, man? Yo, we over here. Yo, we over here. Yo, we over here. Yo, come on, gang, let's go. Yo, we suited and booted. So, you can catch it on it's worth $1billionapparel.com is the website. If you want to go check me out and get that, you can go on the website and all that and get that. Or you can catch me on the gram and grab that from me. You know what I'm saying?
Fire.
Right after that.
So what else do the people have to look forward to? I know you've got a project in the works. It doesn't necessarily have a date on it yet, but what else do you have going on that people can kind of like, look forward to and be excited about?
I think right now we trying to do the DarkCloud movie too. Right now we about we like 100 scripts in, 100 pages.
What's that about? You got a movie coming?
Yeah, DarkCloud movie. Shout out to Allah Adams. He wrote the scripts on that.
That's fire.
Yeah, so the DarkCloud movie's coming soon too.
What's the concept of it? Like, what's the movie gonna be about?
Pretty much DarkCloud. The whole DarkCloud movie is pretty much somewhat my life and other people's lives. Pretty much. At one point in time, I used to feel like, yo, like, what's going on? Why can't shit just ever just go right? You know what I'm saying? Like, why can't shit just ever go right? One minute I bought a new CL600 V12 Benz, crashed the shit immediately. I'm like, how the fuck I just crashed this car right now? You know what I mean? Like, I just bought this car. It got to be a DarkCloud.
DarkCloud.
You know what I'm saying? I start talking to this girl and stuff like that. I'm thinking we getting somewhere in life. You know what I'm saying? I might marry her one day and shit like that. Things don't work out.
DarkCloud.
We just break out. I'm like, oh, that shit must be a dark cloud over my head. Niggas was forced to move out. My mans was getting locked up. You know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, everybody I know started dying. So I just felt like, yo, I gotta have a dark cloud over my head because I just can't. Shit ain't going right. This shit is crazy. It made me not even want to be here no more. You understand what I'm saying? So at times, and I always felt like, you know, sometimes you could just be your own dark cloud too on other people's situations.
No, it's a fact.
Because what I was going through, I found myself giving that energy to other people. You understand what I'm saying? So they say the only way to kill a dark cloud is by shining light on it. So
I was gonna say it's a good thing that you're doing a project called DarkCloud now, because between a movie, merch, and a project on the way, you're gonna have fucking more money than any DarkCloud can handle. So it's too much damn light.
That's what we want. You know what I mean? And I just try to go to, you know, like my son Hov said, you know what I mean, you can't run away from the pain, you gotta go towards it. So that's really what I've been doing. I've been embracing the dark cloud and shit like that. And the more I embrace it, the more effect it even had on me. No, I'll let you choose that.
Alright, no doubt. So let's get into it. Got my man Relly Tex in the building. Let them know where they can find you at, by the way.
You can find me on Instagram, Relly Tex, RELLYTEX. Everything Relly Tex, Facebook Relly Tex, Snapchat Relly Tex, Instagram Relly Tex. I said that, Twitter Relly Tex, RellyTex.com. I'm everywhere, they never in. Gang.
Oh.
If you tell me what you need, nigga, I can do it for the bread. Do it.